13th. Locust Lake Board of Directors. First order of business, everybody turn your cell phones off today if you can, so there's no interruptions, because it also interferes with the mics, right? Yeah, there's feedback. We set everything on our mics, so that we're hoping that this is a better setup. Kind of that first one we had 3 weeks ago didn't work so well. We were doing a lot of, getting a lot of feedback. So that's the first board. Let's go ahead and, this one, make sure you know that this meeting is going to be recorded. We're Zooming, we're YouTubing. How many people do we have on?
16.
We have 16 people on.
And Frank's online.
And Frank, okay. Well, Frank's a call.
Frank's called in.
Great, awesome.
Frank, can you hear us? Can we just do a confirmation?
Frank, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
All right, two for two. So, I'd like to humble and pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, so the first order of business is the opening of the meeting and acceptance of the minutes for July 19th. Do I have a motion?
I'll make motions for both the board meeting minutes
And
I mean, I don't want to make the motion for all three individually or the board meeting and annual meeting minutes.
Second. So we're doing two. We're doing July 19th, both annual and regular meeting minutes. We have a motion from Sherry and we have a second from Dave. All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Motion passed. The next item would be the minutes from August 23rd. That's when we were seated as the board. And I'm looking for a motion.
I'll make the motion.
So
I'll second the motion.
So Tom Travia makes the motion for the minutes to be approved on the 23rd, and Mike Lazari seconds it. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, I can hear you, Frank. That's a good one. That sounds painful. So we're done with that. So all the minutes, so we're just knocked out 3 months worth of minutes. It's great. We were here, just for everybody's edification, we were here till about 9 o'clock. We started at 6 last night and got out, and we stayed at it until some of us till 10. But I wanted to say that this is a good, I'm really happy with this board. And I think we're gonna, this is 3 weeks and we've already got a lot done. So, order of business, it's chairman's comments. I'm already doing it. So, I want to say again, good morning, neighbors.
Good morning.
Good
morning.
All right. Like I just said, we're off to a good start. And we have a lot going on, and there's going to be a lot more coming. We've actually heard from everybody online, everybody in the community, and people that come to these meetings. You've spoken with the elections, and the elections brought 5 new members to the board, and you wanted change. That was the platforms that many of the folks, all of us wanted. And I wanted to let you know that there is change underway. We heard you. That's the bottom line. One of the things in the last meeting that we had was an issue with hearing, getting communications to the board. We now have a LLV board at locustlakevillage.org email. So if you send, and it should be on the paperwork in the back, right? So that way, any individual can get a message to all of us. You don't get to pick. All of us will see it. So we wanted to enhance communications. And that was a positive step with the help of the board and Rob and staff. So we hear you, and we've done that. And then, of course, the sound quality, we already heard that from last meeting, and I think it's a little better, even the people on YouTube. I hope y'all can hear us still, that's good. So there's been a lot going on, but we also know that things don't always go well on certain things. And one of the things that, it's a big elephant in the room, but we had a ballot issue, if you all may recall, and there was a big miss. And we've conducted an investigation, a root cause, Pat Spas, the manager, myself, and we found the error. We know now the entire process. There is no procedure for election processing. So it actually boiled down to a crunch. There's a 10-day window. I'm going to just summarize it. A 10-day window from the time the bylaws say we're supposed to have an election to get the candidates list together. There's a 10-day window. 5 days of it is for the print shop. So there's really only a 5-day window. So it was a crunch. And then an artificial mandate for an expedite for printing. So there was a miss because we only had one set of eyes that actually looked at the ballot and didn't see it. So now we've instituted a new direction. There'll be four sets of eyes, 2 from the election committee, 2 from staff. So that way we got redundancy upon redundancy to make sure this never happens again. It's the only one to my knowledge that has happened. So we did that, and that new standard operating procedure is going to be in place in November, well before another election. But it was a miss. So that's the ballot. Then I want to get, that was a bad thing that we have some information to share. We're telling you everything. It's not being secret. I'm just telling you everything. That's the way I'm going to operate, and this board does. This is a good one. It's a good board. The other part of this was, I want to get into the next echelons of stuff. It's the budget committee we're in a budget crunch right now. We're doing all of the work of it. And there's a group of people led up by Joanne and it's Terry, Stacy Helman-Dollar, Bob Grazik. And I want to say, don't forget our staff. I was here 2 weeks now in the office, fire hosing information around here. And not these folks, Kathleen Brenner, Deidre, Rob, I don't know how he's got a cot in there, so that's a joke. So I do try to lighten it once in a while. But they're doing a great job, and I wanted to have everybody recognize that. We're leveraging, because of the budget process, we're leveraging some of our HR talent from historical. David Harris has got some HR background. He's going to do a personal allowance list. So we do an evaluation of all of our staff, all of our departments, to see if we need somebody, if we're in good shape, or if there's too many. It's something that's hasn't really been done. We always get an ask and usually try to give it to the departments, but we're going to have an independent look at it now from Dave. You good with that? And Rob's on board with it, so we're doing, and it's to get numbers for part of the budget for the group. So we're thinking outside the box. We're treating this like a business, not a club, and we work for you, but so does the staff, and customer service is the other thing. We want good comms with our membership, and I want to see us as departments look towards customer service and keep that in mind, that we are the customer, but be friendly, be helpful. That's what I like. And then the last is we have some developments. We have Oktoberfest coming up next month, and October 12th, so that's a big group. And there's going to be on the agenda today, we're going to talk about the Snack Shack helping out and doing a complimentary offering as well in parallel. But that's all I got, I think. Did I cover everything I said I was going to cover?
Better controls over overtime.
Oh,
a couple of financial things, but
Yeah, well, I was gonna do some for you, but yeah, we're as a group and at finance, we're looking at having better controls on the credit card usage. We're looking at dues, as far as due structure. There may be some inconsistencies there that we want to leverage. Because there's some discounts that are offered for certain properties, and we've discovered it, and we're looking at it. And so that's something that we have to do in the future. So,
overtime, looking at overtime.
and the overtime. Overtime is mainly in maintenance, and we need to get a handle on that process where instead of just getting numbers at the end of the month, and then we're already behind, we can't even do anything about it. We're gonna get the manager's supposed to get something in place, but we as a group are gonna do it as well. We're gonna do a group rope and get that under control, especially for 26. What's overtime's already overtime, we can't do anything about it. But we're gonna do it for next year. So, now,
That's good.
all right.
Next meeting is October 18th.
Okay, so the next, where is it? Oh yeah, the next meeting is October 18th, and then November 15th will be the November meeting. We did not put in there, but there will also be a budget meeting for the membership in November.
Yes.
What's that? It's not the November meeting, right?
It's a special meeting, isn't it?
Yes, we have a special.
We'll announce it next month, but there'll be a special meeting, not a board meeting. It's a special meeting for the budget. That's when we report out, the board will report in, the treasurer actually reports out to the membership what the dues are looking like. And then we get feedback, so. Okay. All right, treasurer's report. You got the treasurer's report, 5 minutes.
Hi, good morning. You should have a paper that looks like this from that table, and my report got up there late, so I don't know if you picked this up, but this is going to be the summary. So right now, as of August 31st, our income year-to-date is 91.21% of the budget. So we're pretty on target. It looks like we'll come in close to where we should be for the end of the year. We're probably not going to come in exactly on target because we have some problems with the SDR income as it was calculated during the budget process last year. For some reason, there was an increase from $290,000 for SDR income from 2025 to $317 for 2026. I think it was based on number of occurrences, but we don't know if we're going to hit that number this year. So right now, we're about 216,000, or I think a little over 216,000. So by the end of the year, we may come in around 250, maybe even 260. I'm not a magician, and I can't predict what's going to happen over the next 3 months, but we're currently using history. And we're going to have a reduction in recreation income. I told you that last month, we predicted 60 grand. We haven't had such a robust and vibrant program like we had before with staffing changes, and we're probably not going to have that type of program for next year. There's not going to be a regularly consistent food program like we had in the past. Recreation's going to look different. Are we going to have food? Yes, but we're not going to have it like in the 2 years that we had Tom and Lisa Spence. It was consistent over the winter. That's not feasible anymore. So their budget will look a little different next year, and their income level will look a little different. The good news is that doesn't mean that we're going to over-deliver the budget. Our expenses are down. So if you look at expenses, we're currently at 68% of the budget. Last month, we were in the 50-something range. This month, we moved over the monies that are allocated for reserve and capital. So every year, there's an allocation made for reserve. We've kept it at 250 to 275. So we just moved over to 275. Capital is a pass-through. Every single time there's a sale of a home in here, there's a resale cert, and then there's the capital improvement fee. So that capital improvement fee right now was where's my number? Sorry. Snafu here, was $101,880. That's what we've collected so far on the capital improvement fee, so we moved that over. If there's more home sales for the end of the quarter, so for like September, October, November, December, that capital improvement fee passes through right to the capital fund. So where did that leave us? That leaves us with what we have right now in capital is $1,170,000, and in the reserve fund, we have $1,497,669. So total right now that we have in reserve and capital, and these are our savings for the future and for all the projects that we do in here that don't come out of operation. We are currently at $2,667,669. If there's a reserve study that was done last year, it was done by the Falcon Group, and it tells us how to save financially for the future. A replacement reserve study calculates everything that we have in here and tells us how the life that we need to replace it, like the chalet roof, the deck, beach sand, pavilion, beach houses. I could go on and on and on. Any vehicle that we have here, a snow plow, a pump for the septic system, all these things are calculated in your reserve study, and they give you a useful life and when you should replace them. We're currently evaluating 24, 25, and 26, and we're doing that because some projects were completed in those years, some were completed, some were pushed out, and some we added. You'll get a list of projects that we have completed and what we think is on deck for the budget. But if you take a look at the reserve study, we're underfunded, okay? Having 2.6 million is not enough to fund our future. And that's why decisions are made sometimes to push these projects out. What we want to do as part of the budget process this year is to try to get to the number that we need to fund our future. Reserve typically has been an afterthought, the budget process. We do the budget, we calculate our operating, and then we say, well, we got to put some money to reserve. What should we put? And we back into it. It shouldn't be that way. It should be like the cornerstone, okay? It should be like, we need $500,000 to be allocated to reserve. And that's an automatic, and then we build our budget, with that as one of the founding factors. If you read the reserve study, and it's pretty boring, if you don't like the numbers, you're not going to be able to understand it, so I'll just summarize it for you. You can fully fund your reserve. No one does that. We're not going to be able to do that. If we did that, if you look at the report, we're needing about $4 million, okay? And we're going to gradually try to get to a number that works for everybody. And then there's thresholds. There's like a 5% threshold, 10% threshold, and so on and so forth. To start, we're going to start with the 5% number, and that's going to lead us up to trying to put away up to $500,000 a year. I think the actual number is $550,000. You won't see that this year. There's no way we're going to be able to make that leap from $275,000 to $550,000 this year, but we'll get closer, okay? And then the next year we'll get even closer, and then after the 2-year process, it will become part of the methodology for the budget funding and moving forward for the future years, and we shouldn't have that problem. If you didn't understand that, okay, I understand that, because it is hard to follow, but rest assured, we have our eye on it, okay? It's one of our priorities is to make sure while we're doing the budget process, we're thinking about not just 2026, we're thinking about 2020, 2030, 2027, 8, 9, 30. We're worried about the financial future. Okay, and I'll give you a quick rundown of where we're at with the budget. I have a budget team, Pat Sprouse is on there, and also Tom Trevia, because he's currently the Finance Committee Chair, Terry, Bob, and Stacy Hollander. We really had a couple really great meetings. We just had a meeting last week where we've gotten the draft budgets from the staff, and we're going through them at a high level of detail. There's lots of priorities being looked at, okay? We're looking at designing and the funding for the recreation department to make it look more like what it will look like in the future. We're taking a look at the STR fees. We're taking a look at expenses. We need a better control process overall to control expenses in the village. We currently have a credit card process. We're going to put into place some approval processes and some limits so that we can monitor it next year. We're taking an inventory. We're going to have an inventory done in all the departments by the end of the year. Once we have an inventory, then we can better track and monitor our purchases next year. And we're taking a look at salaries, staffing, and overtime and trying to control those better. So the way the budget has historically been built is the budget comes up, we look at the expenses, we have more expenses than we have income. There's some razzle-dazzle done in the numbers, some is methodology, and some is a wild guess. It's like a statistical wild, and they call it swag. You take a look at it and try to say, okay, I don't really have the numbers, but based on history, this is where I'll go. And then that equates back to whether we need a dues increase or not. What we're doing this year is we're looking at income, okay? Let's leave the budget static. Let's not count on having an increase in members' dues. Let's start with, if we didn't do that, we know where are our income sources, and then look at our expenses for costs and efficiencies. That's how we're starting. Where we'll end up, I don't know, I can't make you a promise, but I can tell you that the way we're going in is a static number from last year. We're not going in automatically assuming that there'll be an incremental increase. That's the process we're using now. And in order to get to that number, that's why we're looking at all these different things we just told you, controlling expenses, looking at fees, looking at rec, looking at overtime, looking at the dues rates. There's currently, what is it, Pat, 73 says, 30 something?
Yeah, rates for dues.
Right, we're all new on the budget team, this is what you get a fresh set of eyes. None of us have done the budget before at this level, so it's harder for Rob, because we ask 1,000 questions, but we ask questions about everything, just we've never had this inside look before. And we found that there's 73 different dues rates. So there's a rate for a house, a rate for a lot, a rate for a non-permeable lot, and a rate for a conjoined lot. And then from there, if you have two lots,
Just this, your bill that comes in every year, there's a second piece of paper with this matrix, with the matrix.
Yeah.
This is just some of the rates, so I never understood what this
Right.
is. We're getting behind this matrix.
and so what we found is the more you own, you get a discount. And so we're confused. We're saying, why would that happen if you were in a township or a city or a municipality? That wouldn't happen. If you own 2 houses in Tobyhanna, they're charging you their tax rate on that property, they don't come by and say, well, you bought 2, so, give you a 0.25% discount. It doesn't happen. It has happened here, and apparently it's been in place for a really long time. If you want to ask us why, we're just going to tell you, we don't know why. We have no idea why. It's something that was started years ago, according to Kathleen. It's been around since 1979, and periodically over time, they have added and added and added and added. We don't want to spend a lot of time debating what happened in the past. We want to look at the future. So we can't control anything that happened prior to the board, but we're trying to make some decisions now. That's where we're at with the budget process. Does anybody have any questions? Yes.
Okay, so I get a discount because I own a lot and a half, but you saying you want to take away the discount to people?
I'll let you answer.
Maddie and I also own a lot next to our house, and we were given the discount. We never asked for it, we never realized we had it, and maybe it's not quite fair that we get a discount. So yeah, some people, and with the way the numbers look now, some people will have a higher rate. 288, it looks like, out of what, 1,200 members.
1272.
1270, thank you. So it's a small proportion of people, but there's some people in here that own maybe a dozen lots, and that adds up to be a pretty big discount. So, the reason behind it it's not intuitive. We can't understand why someone with multiple lots would get a break when that would never happen with property taxes. So we're looking at it now. We don't have the numbers. The way the budget is done is that dues are sort of calculated after you know how the expenses, how much expenses are. I think Joanne's rethinking that. So, but there will be some changes, and that big grid that's on the back of your bill every year, hopefully will be a lot smaller this time around.
Right, and the actual, so it's something that doesn't look right, but there might be a background on it. We're gonna look into it. We need to have other eyes on it, and this is as of yesterday. So this is, to say that the dues are going up, or it's premature, but we're looking at it because it doesn't look fair. 288 people are being subsidized by 998. So, and maybe there's a reason for it, but as of 2 days now, we just don't know yet.
Can I just ask a question? Are you saying that they get a discount if they own an extra lot, but there's not a building on the lot?
So it would make really easy sense, I think, for a lot of people, like, oh, we have A rate for if you have a brick wall lot with a house on it, and you have A rate if you have a lot without a house on it. There is something like 16, there are immense amounts of varying degrees of discounts. 78. So like that, you know,
No, I
yes,
get
we should have a
that.
couple of,
Yeah, but I thought, like, even I thought a couple months back, when people were upset about investment companies coming in and buying lots and building houses, that there was a discussion, that nothing has happened yet, but there was a discussion that if, say, and I only own a house, like I don't own a lot, but if I had a lot next door to me, that potentially an investor could build and start, you know, STR in it full-time, not using it whatsoever, that I could potentially buy the extra lot, which again, there is no extra lot, so it's not my own self, whatever I'm asking for, but that I could buy the extra lot and get a as long as I did something so that I could not build on it in the future, I would get a discount, and like, I mean, that kind of.
I don't think that there's an
Discount
interest
sounds
in getting
fair.
rid of the discount.
Yeah, okay, that, I mean, I'm
It's
just saying,
why-
Let's
Why
take a
is it
pause,
eight?
take a pause, because they're two separate issues,
Yeah,
and
they're-
we were going around to take a look
I
at.
mean, I think that's what, I don't
Yeah.
know her name, but I think that's what
Yeah.
she was just
There
talking about.
wasn't
It's a
an effort to
standalone
go
lot,
around.
we're not changing it. So
Yeah.
there's, the standalone lot is 0.8 of whatever the fee is for an improved home. And where it didn't look right was somebody that has a home and then they buy 6 lots. Those 6 lots are all 0.8s. And they're and some of they add them, it looks, and then they say if they buy the lot and enjoy it, then it goes down to 0.4. I think it was 0.50% off. So just some of this, just when you look at the numbers at 10,000 feet, you know, it could impact, I mean, revenue by 183,000, but that's at every single one of them, it needs to go up to a higher rate. We don't know that yet.
Can I just say one more thing? I get what you're saying, but if, say you did that, I mean, I'm assuming that the reason that they get the 0.6 or the 0.8 is because there's not a family there that's using all the amenities and that type of thing, so they're just paying the dues for a lot where there's not extra people using stuff, there's not extra people using the roads, there's not extra people using the beaches, there's not
Right.
extra people that need security, whatever. If you, just something to think about, if you do that, and somebody owns 6 lots, and now all of a sudden you jack theirs from 0.6 on that to 100%, if it was me, and again, I don't own a lot, I'd sell it. And I'd sell it to an investor if they're gonna give you the most money. And that is something you guys need to think about.
That's-
If you don't want investors coming in here and buying this place up.
That's-
Because if
that was
I
my-
own 6 lots and you jack my fees up by, 40%,
Well, if it's just
it's
0.8.
unsustainable.
Right, so if it's 0.8, it should be fine, but if there are any discounts further than that, we don't, that would be fair game.
Yeah.
So, but, we don't know yet, so we're just sharing, I think it's a little premature that we announced it like this, but it's not done deal, it's gonna take legal review, accounting review, the board has to approve it. This is just an exploratory meeting that happened 2 days ago, so I caution, we're not, it's not official, so it's,
Right, and there'll still be different rates for a home and a lot that doesn't have a home on it. I guess where these 73 rates come from is, for example, if you have a home, it's 1.0, 100%, okay? And then if it's a lot, it's 0.8, 0.6, or 0.4, whatever it comes out to be. There'll still be a graduating scale, but it won't be if you have 6 lots and the lot is at a 0.8, that it would gradually go down to a negligible number where, you know what I mean, you're paying such a lower rate on your lots that doesn't make sense. But nobody has the answer yet. But there'll still be a graduating scale. You won't be charged the same for a lot that's not built on as you would for a home. So we'll still have that, but nobody has the answers yet, but it's something that's being looked at because no one can explain why that happened. It doesn't make sense. Somebody who owns 6 lots and hasn't enjoyed them, probably at some point considering selling those lots and doing something with them. So they're not going to be your typical homeowner, like I have a lot next door. I put it because I didn't want anybody to build next to me, and I just have it. Maybe I'll enjoy it, maybe I won't. But then you have these other, if I own another one, the scale will go down and down.
I mean,
But it's a good consideration.
I went through every person that lived in here. I went through the tax records, and I know who owns a number of the properties. And they're people that have owned for
Years.
a long,
Years.
long time, that probably bought in the 70s when this place started.
Yeah.
And whether or not they're looking to speculate, or they just bought them when they were, certain people that have the streets named after them.
If I could also add, part of the discussion wasn't really opening up the discussion, was focusing on discounts, but it was also looking at our software. We have older software, and if we're going to modernize at any point in time going forward, the preliminary search so far said there isn't an accounting software out there that handles the 68 plus 78 plus rates. So the idea was, if we have a different rate structure in Lucas Lake Village, what are the software platforms out there that can match? And 78 was just excessive.
73, sorry, 73.
70 plus. 70 plus was excessive to find any type of computer software, GL system, so that was also an impetus to start looking at it.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to move on from this topic. So we're going to move on to the manager's report.
I'm going to make this very quick with the budget season. As you can imagine, time's been eaten up, so my report's a little anemic. I'm going to hit on a couple of key points. My full manager's report is on the back table or part of your packet. As I said, budget season's well underway, which is encompassing a great deal of time. As you can tell from Joanne's report and Pat's, Tom included, there's a lot of details that they're looking for to gather information. I just want to report Staff Rangers Kyle has been interviewing a new full-time ranger. That will be brought to the board and accessible for additional interviews. Short-term rental process, those of you that own short terms, we did incorporate a new policy as far as statements and billing, so please look for that in the mail if you haven't received it already. Holding tanks that were installed last year at Pines and East did very well this season. The additional usage, we did monitor just to look for trends going into the future. If we were to consider the concession stands going further. East of Pines Lake fence, that's still on the radar for the board and should be moving quickly. If you haven't seen road paving, Farmers was recently done. I have not been out to put my eyes on it to tell you exactly, but the contractor did move over to Martha's. These were two of the main roads identified by the roads committee and engineers. The pavement that was on there was not substantial enough, nor was the piece. So the roads committee did create an RFP, an extensive one, and the engineer and the contractor is working towards identifying that. So those two roads will be done very soon. As I said, Farmers should, but I can't tell you it's perfect because I haven't been out there. Martha's, I did go by, they did strip off the asphalt. He'll be back Tuesday to continue that. I did speak with the contractor with the tar and chip for Beaver, Martha's, and Hillside. He is hoping his schedule is going to open up October 1st. Be back into the community. Concession stand leases, Wade and the board are reviewing those for the two vendors that took on the concession stands. There was such a favorable response from the community with all their efforts, so that's something we'd like to see continue going into the future. I'm not sure many people have identified, but 2026 is going to be the 250th anniversary of our country. So we're looking to the rec department to possibly bolster up some of the celebrations. That's also under discussion. And last, for those of you eagerly awaiting, and Dee's not here, but I did tell her, this shed that she's been long awaiting has been delivered and is at East Lake. So the anglers and Dee should be happy. Again, my full report is on the back table or part of your packet, respectively submitted.
All right, thank you, Rob. All right, committee reports. Tom?
Thanks, Wade.
Finance.
Thanks, Wade. Finance, we are going to have a finance committee meeting a week from today on the 20th at 10 a.m. in the administration building. Our last finance meeting was back in June. We had a lot of vacation and people not available July and August. In June, we established a subcommittee for budget, and that's what you've heard thus far, is the subcommittee has already, went charging forward on getting, the applicable information together. So when we meet as a finance committee as a whole, we'll have hit the ground running, where we've already had the legwork done. Previous years, it was always starting the budget process in September, and it was more of a wish list. It was more of, what do you want us to do from a committee? What does the staff and the department leads want to do? So this year, we took a different approach of getting the subcommittee together and getting the initial process moving. So then when a greater and large finance committee meets, the subcommittee can present what they've started thus far, and we can seek any feedback from the committee at large to incorporate in, since it's always a different set of eyes, the subcommittee, the committee at large, the board, the membership, etc. So that's what's on store for that. I'd like to thank the subcommittee for all their hard work, because they, as you heard from earlier, they've hit the ground running, and we have a good head start this year.
And we want to thank you for helping us with all the historical data.
Okay. All right, the next one would be, so we're on committee reports, and just a side note for everyone in the audience and online. A lot of these committee positions, the chairs are under evaluation right now. Other than Tom Travi will remain as finance chair. And under the bylaws, I appoint these chair people, and there could be a chair or a co-chair, but I'm just going to let you know, there's a few of the spots that have been determined, and I'll say Tom Travi is one of them. Security, Andy Gross is not here today, right?
Yes.
So, you got him? Okay.
Okay, security committee met, recently September 5th, a couple of the highlights off of theirs. They have, let me see, make sure I get to the points. Monthly ranger reports, they're reviewing the reports produced by Kyle to make them more detailed. On average, the slight increase in certain categories as compared to prior year. So the notable activities year-to-date, issuance of ARC permits, law enforcement assistance citations issued in unsightly conditions. The majority of the citations dealt with quality of life rule infractions. Some other have been the code enforcement activities, consisting of 64 permit applications being submitted for the month of August. Total of 46 have been approved. We are looking to get a year-to-date. Rangers continue to address properties with exterior lighting and unsightly conditions. Several citations have been issued. They are looking at the CCTV cameras as a possible for 2026 report. Committee recommendations to reinstate a policy for removal of the stop signs for winter months, which was brought up. That pretty much concludes the highlights of the security committee meeting.
So this is going to go quick, because the security, unless you got something for Lakes and Wildlife.
I didn't get that one.
So, I know.
I do have roads.
What's that?
I do have roads.
Well, we can go. We'll just go ahead and knock out Lakes and Wild. The only thing we have to say on that is that we have a DEP report, and we have to clean up the backside of the dam, and that's underway. CNT is, I don't think there's any report on CNT.
There's no update. The committee hasn't been assigned any tasks.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and, that will be one I'll announce who I think it should be, and next month. The only thing that was on that list was the security cameras that were extremely expensive, and, is that what we really need? Okay, roads, why don't you go to roads there, Mr.
Buildings and grounds, Joey's not here.
Excuse me, building and grounds. So I'm going to announce this one. So building and grounds, Joe Molino's not present, and I'm going to appoint one of our new directors, Mike Picari, as our new building and grounds maintenance person. I intend to combine the maintenance function of roads and building and grounds and under Mike Picari. So, and Andy Forelli is acting for roads right now, and there's a co-chair that he would like to have, but I wanted to bounce it off you before we announce that. So, building and grounds, if you don't, I mean, you're just gonna,
I accept.
you accept, so that's what we're doing, so you have that.
I accept, but also, I believe Frank also wanted to do co-chair on the grounds, me and Frank, and maintenance, if that's possible.
Well, we're gonna have 4 guys, but yeah, I mean, we can talk about it.
I'm fine doing it.
Learn out it's 1, and then we'll move from there.
Okay.
Andy Forelli, and there'll be 1 person that he's requested that I needed to vet. I need to vet. I'm trying to get new faces and want to vet their abilities. And so I'm not going to just rush into it 3 weeks in. So roads. So there's no building and grounds report per se. So is there anything on roads?
I do have a report I can summarize quickly.
There you go.
Okay, September 6th, the Roads Committee did meet. Andy Forelli, Steve Pace were present, as well as Joe Drucker, Tom Travia, Fran, I'm not going to destroy your last name, sorry. So the discussion followed. We're looking at the 2026 recommendations and possibly producing an RFP for paving, consideration to overlay of Ford and Lower Stag, rebuild, lane shoulders were some of the primaries. Separate RFP from Hanover for Upper Ford Road is still being considered. They are looking for direction and clarification regarding tar and chip, which was a topic last night, and what direction going. Highlighting the usage of our Hanover engineer to help with specifications. Committee recommendations, board approved a revised Pines Lake driveway reconstruction, which will be brought up later on in this meeting. Again, the 2026 tar chip suggestions were to resurface Ranger Ridge, Partridge, Turkey Court, Upper Mountain View, between Lakeland and Locust, Tommy's, Wagner, Sealick, just to name a few. Pothole repairs are always a consideration and a priority. The committee also discussed crack repairs along Lake Lane, which I can report that maintenance did get our tar bucky up and running. We're just waiting for tar, so we'll be able to do that. They're also considering 2026 budget as far as what the board's priorities are going to be, and that was the highlights.
Okay, thank you, Rock. Recreation, is Carrie Pohl here? So, all right, Jim, Kat, you're rec, right? So, well, all I can know is there's one rec event, and that's going to be Oktoberfest on the 12th, and there'll be Halloween the last week, and I don't know the date.
There's Halloween on the 25th.
25th.
On the 25th. October 11th is Kids Day. October 12th is Oktoberfest. October 25th is the Halloween day with the kids costume contest, the trunk or treat, and then the trunk decorating contest, followed by
Let's do it, Michigan Hall.
trick or treating from 3 to 6, followed by the house decorating contest, followed by the Halloween party. But everything's already listed on Town Square for October.
So all the activities are in Town Square. The main, you just went through a whole bunch. Did everybody hear her, by the way? Yeah, you want to get, well, we know that there's quite a few bit going on in October, and if you got the 12th, you got the 11th, you got the 25th, the 24th, and it's all on Town Square. So rules and regs, there's nothing to report on rules and regs. And I'm going to go ahead and announce that I'm making Manny Tarani the chairperson on the rules and regs, and board liaison will be Pat Sprouse. Bylaws will wait. I need to talk to Frank, and we'll work that through. STRs, Ginny Emanuel, I've got to call out to her, make sure she still wants to do it. From my information, I think she does want to do it, and we'll have better numbers or better information next month. Ski Hill Committee is myself. I have somebody that I would like to try to turn this over to, but in the interim, I'm still going to, oversee it. Ski Hill, we passed wire road inspection, so, and I was able to get the state inspection for October 1st. So in about, we'll know in two weeks whether we're fully operational or not, and then we can start planning events and move forward. It's the most aggressive schedule that I've seen since I've been here. So we've actually, everything's way ahead before the ski lifts that are out there commercially. And then strategic, any questions on that? Strategic planning is just, we have, it was Joe Drucker. He had a recommendation that I need to reach out. I called to him, and when I get confirmation, I'll be announcing that as well. Again, we moved the board meeting up a week, where typically it's the third week of every month, so, we're really aggressive right now. So these holes are not unusual, because they normally fill them up in the first 2 months. It's only been 3 weeks, just to kind of give it perspective. But we need to get the folks. We don't have anything. Okay. So we're gonna move into the old business. So we're moving along. This is good, we're moving quickly. Old business, and I'm looking to have a motion to accept the fair hearing recommendation for citation 5957.
So moved.
Second.
So it was David Harris motioned, Tom Travia seconded. Any discussion on this fair hearing citation? No discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? So that's motion to accept.
I really couldn't hear the motion, so I couldn't vote because I couldn't hear what you said.
Okay, Frank, this is for the endorsing the fair hearing recommendation for citation 5957, which we talked about last night.
Aye.
Aye, very well. So it's a unanimous decision. So we're going to the next one, there's going to be 4 of these. So the next one is a motion to accept the fair hearing recommendation for citation 5956. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion. Second.
Second again. Any discussion? No discussion.
Kat, can you ask Frank to be heard?
Frank, can you hear us?
I couldn't. No,
Okay.
I couldn't hear the last one.
Why don't we read it from here?
It's plugged into the,
It's,
you can hear it.
so, motion, so all in favor of this motion? Frank, can you hear that? In favor?
Yes.
Okay. Any nays? No. Motion passed. Third one, now for the audience, this is fair hearing, it's confidential information of a member, it's just based on a citation. So we can't get into it, it's kind of boring for you, but it's a formality, every right of our members in the community have a right to do this. And we have a committee that handles this for us. We, the board, will make the final, we uphold it, and then it moves on. So that's what we're doing right now. We're on the third of 4. Motion to accept fair hearing recommendation citation 5955. Do I have a motion?
I'll motion.
Mike Vicari motions.
I'll second.
Tom Travia seconds. No discussion? No discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any? Thank you, Frank. We're good. No nays. Motion passes. Last one. Motion to accept fair hearing recommendation citation 5750. Do I have a motion?
I'll motion.
Okay. Mike Vicari, motion. Second, Tom Travia. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Very well. Passes, no nays. Passes unanimously. Okay. The next item on our list is motion to write off an account number 102-2537 in the amount of $9,742.64. These are 3 lots that are into repository. So they're basically lots that, and they're in Monroe County. There's nothing we can do. It has to be done to clear the books. Nobody owns them anymore. So do I have a motion?
I'll motion.
Mike Vaccari motions. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Tom Travius, second. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor? Aye. Any ayes? No nays. Motion passes. Okay, this is a motion to ratify a vote that was taken on the 24th of August. And it was passed finally by the 27th by email. So we voted on the topic for drainage engineering by the board. And it was for doing work on terrace here, right here, right? So all we're doing is ratifying that email motion. So it's not official, it is, but we make it formal and in our minutes by doing it this way. So, and do I have a motion to ratify the drainage engineering for Hillside Terrace?
Wait, I would like the motion, but you need to pronounce my name right.
What did I say? What did I call you?
It's Vazzari. Vazzari.
Oh my.
I'll motion.
All right, well, let me cut the record be straight. So, sorry about that. I'll just say Mike Feedy.
There you go. I accept that.
I do.
All right. So we have a motion for Mike?
I motion.
All right, second.
I'll second.
Okay, Frank, we'll let Frank do it. There's a delay in stream, so we'll get Frank in here. Any discussion? It's, all in favor?
Aye.
No, unanimous decision.
No, I vote no. I vote no on the township, so I voted no for the drainage meter system.
Let the record know, we got 1 no, and it's Joanne Andrews. So the next motion is to ratify a vote taken on the 28th, which, oh yeah, that was it. Okay, so on the 28th of August, and finally we had the numbers by the 30th, and this is regarding the Munchie and the Snack Shack vendor extensions. This was just an extension to allow for the vendors to have their equipment in place, so that we can, they would be able to negotiate new leases for 2020.
What?
I couldn't hear, can't hear nothing.
So we're on the motion for the vendor shack extension, Frank?
Hold the phone up.
Okay.
Okay, so we're on that right now. We're just ratifying what we did with email, and everybody voted in favor of this.
Thanks, Scott.
All right. So I need a motion to ratify the vote taken on the 28th and passed on the 30th via email. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion, but can we correct the names for the official
Can we just call
record?
it Snack Shack?
Yeah.
Yeah, about Snack Shacks. Okay. Snack Shack. Snack
Snack
Shack.
Shack vendor extensions.
We'll just call it, I'm taking out Munchie and Snack Shack vendors. Okay.
Then I'll make the motion.
I've got a second. On?
No, I'll make the initial motion.
You're making an initial motion, so then you'll be your second, Sharon. Any discussion? This is just the extension of leases so they can stay in place
And store their.
and store their equipment. All in favor?
Oh, can we clarify that it's extension until November 1? That's what we're talking about?
Yes, it was November 1.
2025.
November 1, 2025. It was up to, so we can redo it earlier than that, but that's the deadline. So now in favor? All in favor? All right. No nays? Motion passed. I vote in favor. Okay, here's one. Motion to ratify the vote from last night. Motion to ratify vote taken 9/12/12/25 at the workshop meeting, allowing Mountain Munchies to be open during Oktoberfest with varying options for food from the different from the rec event that passed with all in favor.
Move to ratify.
Got a motion?
I'll motion it.
Second. Got a second? And discussion on this is just that this is a request came in from the Snack Shack wanting to do complimentary
Mountain Munchies.
Mountain Munchies at Locust Lake Village. And we deconflicted with the rec department. It didn't conflict with their food. And it was a unanimous decision last night. So we're ratifying it now formally. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion to amend the STR rental registration fee collection timeline to being due on the 15th of the month following the registration, and the owner would be considered no longer in good standing if they did not pay by the 30th of that same month.
So we motioned for this last month. I think I misphrased it. It's due within 15 days and then we no longer in good standing in 30 days, but it's reality about the month after the due. When they're sending out the invoices, so please clarify.
So do we have a motion, please?
I'll make the motion.
Tom Travia motions,
I'll second the motion.
Mike V seconds, and then any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
And
Aye.
no nays. Pass. Thanks, Frank. Okay. Motion to ratify vote taken last night regarding the Alamos paving, $28,180 for the Pines Lake entrance from capital funds. Motion passed with all in favor last night. Do I have a motion?
I'd like to clarify, wasn't it not only the Pines Lake entrance, but then the lake?
It's $1,600 crack filling, that's right.
Yeah, repairing the boat ramp. Not repaving it, just repairing it, make it usable for the winter.
So we need it, repair, so it's $1,600 repair, crack filling, and Locust Lake Dam. I'm not cursing.
Want to just re-summarize for the group?
Yes, I have here a motion to ratify the vote taken on 9/12/2025 at the workshop meeting funding $28,180 for paving of Pines Lake entrance and Locust Lake boat ramp crack repairs.
Out of here now.
Sorry. The motion, I'm rereading the motion, Frank. The motion was to ratify the vote taken on 9/12/2025 at the workshop meeting funding $28,180 for paving of Pines Lake entrance and Locust Lake boat ramp crack repairs by Alamos Paving from capital funds. Last night, that motion was passed with all in favor.
Okay.
Okay, motion.
I'll motion.
So Travia motions.
Second.
Frank seconds, and any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
No nays, all pass. Okay. Yes, she said she did.
I said yes.
You said yes?
You shocked, aren't you? Right at the counter, why?
So, new business, we had one new business item, and that's for a motion to accept a fair hearing recommendation for a citation 5940. We heard it last night, this is about, it was just endorsing, it's,
I'll make the motion.
and Mike Acari said,
I'll second.
Mike V.
I got nothing to do.
We got, Frank, it's the same one that we did last night, so you can, it's 5940, it's, we approved it last night. All in favor?
Yes. Aye.
Aye. No nays, right? Motion passed unanimously. Okay, we're done with business. Now we're at the members' comments. Mr. Bodaniak.
Thank you, Ray.
You were
This
right.
is, this is for Ron.
Hold on, get on mic.
Get on mic, so the people online can hear you.
This is for Ron. Ron, can you go into a deeper explanation as to what's going on in Martha's Lane, especially with a focus on the swales?
You said Rob.
Rob, you meant Rob.
Yeah, you mean Rob.
Rob.
So Martha's Lane was identified as one of the roads that by the roads committee, Andy Corelli and the group looked at the alligatoring that was happening to the asphalt that was just installed a couple of years ago. The determination, from what I understand, is that the sub-base was not substantial enough for the road. So the RFP was to identify reestablishing a base, a deeper base, so they're digging out to at least 8 inches. They'll put down fabric as part of the support system, reinstall the modified material, 8 inches of it compacted in lifts, then install sub-base of asphalt. The specifications were in the RFP. I can't produce those right now for you, but I do have the RFP, and then a final course over that. Overall, we'll be increasing the thickness and the weight capacity of Martha's, being that the truck traffic that usually gets with our compactors or dump trucks, the different heavy equipment that goes in and out of there, that in conjunction with the frost that is produced during the winter months that heaves the road. So the focus was to increase the capacity of that road overall. As far as the swales going down Martha's, anytime you have water intrusion, that is the biggest culprit to the deterioration of the road. So the ability to get the water out from under the road, or the ability to transfer stormwater. All of the swales on Martha's and Beaver were reestablished or relined with RP4, which is a bigger stone instead of the 5s, to help with the transfer of water, but also not to allow for erosion of the soils under the swales. So in essence, we're identifying the water, the stormwater, water that could be under the road, establishing a thicker base so that the road will last longer. The same application was on Farmers as well. Beaver, Martha's, portions of Martha's, and Hillside will have tar and chip, but we also reestablished those swales going down those roads.
Just to follow up,
We need the audience to be able to hear you, Fran.
just to follow up, who's doing the swales? Are we doing it, our maintenance guys, or is it the contractor? Because it appeared to me yesterday that the contractor was doing it.
The initial swell work was done in-house by our team. They did a fantastic job, in my opinion, but the contractor was also assisting and reestablishing the work he did. Part of the RFP that he had was to remove the crossover pipe at the head of Martha's Lane. He agreed, the contractor, that he would do that as part of the project at no additional charge to the community. So if you saw that work, he was doing that as well. But again, there was no charge to the community for that.
Thank you very much. Mike Resto, I live at 2500 Longview. On the major highways, there's probably at any one time 6 to 8 6-year-olds on the lakes, none of them wearing life jackets. I think it's state law they have to wear life jackets. I was concerned, 15 years ago, one of the recreational police pulled me over and pointed out it was a $75 fine. I think I let him go. But I would suggest that we have some signs there so that people with these 6-year-olds that are going out there with these little styrofoam things must wear life jackets. I see parents pushing them out all the time. If they're 100 yards out, they could easily get in trouble. So just for your consideration, adequate signage to confirm that state law requires that life jackets are worn on any kind of flotation device up there. The major highways or the major holidays are the problem, not during the week, but there'll be half a dozen kids out there that are 6 years old floating around. So that's my remarks for your consideration. Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Suggestion for signage, which is
More signage.
clarity in the signage.
By the way, this is the second and one that's in the process.
Say it again, please.
Microphone.
Someone took my mic.
Short of mics.
Where's my?
No, this is the second request. We actually have that for an action item, and I think police gotta get an update.
It's a little scary watching them up there.
Well, which lake was it?
This is the main one, Locust Lake. Locust Lake, that's the one that's overpopulated.
And I thought we had the lifeguards there.
They left early this evening.
Oh, it's when when they're not manned? Not manning, and that's what?
So
There's
the,
not lifeguards are 24/7.
the lifeguards aren't 24/7, and then
Okay.
swim at your own risk is a sign that's out there. The clarity about the life jackets, I've had mixed reports on the life jackets signage, but this is the third time actually this was brought up at a meeting. We have identified additional signage. We just don't have the signs in the shop to put it out, so we have to have them made. That costs money, so it's in the budget for additional signage, not only there, but some of the 25-mile-an-hour speed limit, stop signs, no dog pooping, no dog walking on the beaches. There's the signage for the back gate. The insurance company recommends putting a sign that says the gate comes down after every vehicle. That helps us with the liability for if somebody drives up on the gate and it comes down on their vehicle. Common sense would say it comes down after every vehicle, but we have to put a sign out there. So we'll have to identify that. We also have the dumping area sign. We have to put out for the hours and what can be dumped up there. So we have multiple lists of signs to be added to the community.
You think it's worth considering a sign that says you have to wear life jackets, though?
Absolutely.
Maybe that's the top of the list.
We can
That should be-
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else?
Well, I can just. We were out there fishing
And it seemed like there were, it wasn't when the lifeguards were on duty. And parents were out with the floating devices with kids, and there was nobody with life jackets. They didn't care. And they were being roughhoused, and they weren't big kids. They were like anywhere from 8 to 12. And I mean, my kids back then, they weren't on floating devices, but when lifeguards were not there, they had extra fun. Because they didn't get yelled at. I'm not saying that's a good thing, but they should have life jackets on. And parents don't, parents are there and they're not making them wear life jackets.
Well, that's one of our rules, so why don't we increase, get patrol security to take an actual look at this one, where they're driving around the lakes, which they are there, that they monitor that and enforce flotation. Get them out of the water or get a flotation device. So, we don't need anybody to get hurt, so. What do you guys think about that? Okay, so I got it.
Good idea.
All right, that's it. Wait, I got Mike. I got Mike in there.
Couldn't hear you.
We got a member comment from Mike Wilczek.
I have a question in regards to clearing the dam, the person that's down there. Correct me if I'm wrong. We did get from something from the EPA cutting that grass more than 3 or 4 months ago. Is that correct?
So your question is, so in May, we've cut it. The last report we had was on May 9th from the
Inspection.
from an inspection that was conducted in February. We have since put all the riprap and the stone along it. That was one of the items that was a finding. But we did that, and we did cut the grass, but we haven't done all of the backside of the dam yet. But it's in work. It's already on the list. I checked. So
I know it's on the list. Half of it was done.
half of it was, yeah.
But the thing is, it's been over 2 weeks. I mean, I believe that's a major issue in regards to the safety of the dam, as far as leakage on the downward side. So, you know, all I'm saying is, more attention should be paid to do, when we get a variance from the DEP that we need to do, we should jump on it.
I'll look into it. And we'll see.
We have a lot of fair hearing committees, recommendations and stuff. Who's on the fair hearing committee?
I don't. I think those names are confidential.
All right, so why is it confidential to the community?
It's to them because they're making decisions that are, may not be favorable to them, to the people that are present in front of them.
The thing is, the board may be making decisions that are not compromised or supported by,
You know all of us, right, Mike?
Excuse me?
You know us, so that we represent you and the body, and we endorse it to keep them their confidentiality.
Well, it appears to me, I don't see Fair Hearing Committee anything in our documents, about who's on it, what they're doing, and they're making recommendations here. And we can't find out, well, we can't tell you because it has to be confidential. And the thing is, I hear, I see here, as far as that we accept Fair Hearing recommendations for citations. But the thing is, we don't even know what the citation was.
Correct, you don't.
Was it cutting, I don't care who it was, but was it cutting a tree down? Okay, was it building a deck? We don't know.
Right, you don't know, and you have to rely on the board, the body that you elected, to review these fair hearing recommendations, and we don't always go along with them. So, I've been doing this for a while, and some other people here, we do it, we don't, when we recommend something, we either find in favor or we modify it. So we don't, there's been times this year that we didn't endorse it, and I think there's other people in this audience that know that. I was gonna read, I don't know, I can get back to you, Mike, and I think it's in our bylaws. It's supposed to have a fair hearing type of arrangement. But I don't know off the top of my head, it's been around since I've been here, and it's 2005.
Even though it's been around, it's been around from the beginning of time, but I'm questioning.
Right, and I
When one of the board members, the newly board members, he kept on asking at the Meet the Candidates that night, his comment was, why? Why are we doing this? And why, it's not visible to the community? And I can understand you want some privacy, you don't want the person's name or address and stuff, but the thing is, you can say, it was a citation based on cutting a tree, putting a deck up, but the thing is, you can say, fine, we reviewed it, they were brand new, they didn't know, fine. Well, you can agree or disagree, but the thing is, we have a secret committee, that's what it is.
I mean, I would like to rather, I keep the name, we can keep the citation, maybe we can say what the violation is, and then, but keep the name private. That would probably give me, you know what, when I look at the agenda, we're all like looking at it, and this just has a citation. I'm like, we looked at it last night, but I'm already forgot what it was. What number it was. So,
Violations were.
so why don't we go ahead? I think we can do that. We can give you the violation, what the actual violation is.
I won't associate them with a number.
The Fair Hearing Committees, are these people, how long have they been on the committee?
Oh, I don't know the answer to that.
I guess my question here again, why? How long have they been on the committee? Are they residents here, full-time residents? Do they really know the bylaws as much as the board has to? The rules and regulations, financial policies and stuff, they should be really up to speed. You can state laws that.
Yeah, Frank?
Yeah, I'm not hearing anything from the body. I guess I'm gonna have to sign off because I can't hear anything you're saying.
Oh, okay, Mike, can you get a mic?
I'm talking, I thought it would be.
You gotta talk into this. So Mike, why don't you put this list of answers and I'll get every one of them answered for you that I can, and we'll do it either interim and I'll copy, we make it open to the whole entire group here next week for the.
That's no problem. And like the same thing what you're saying here, you get back to me. There were 3 requests for information I submitted in August, I believe it was August 22nd. I still haven't gotten a response. So what I'm saying is, I don't need an answer now, but first state statutes, they roughly have 7 days. I know you're busy doing a lot of other things.
That doesn't make it, that's not an excuse.
All I'm asking is, I'd like to have those 3 requests answered promptly. Thank you.
Excuse me, if I can reply to the last remark by Mr. Wilczek. Mr. Wilczek did receive a response via email that the information was ready for him. We did have a discussion that his time and my time to get together for it. Those documents have been available in my office for you, as are the previous 5 requests for information you made back on May 5th. So all the documentation information has been provided and a response was given. So if you'd like to come in and discuss that, I, again, have all the documentation you requested available for you in my office for your review.
So Rob, so all the documents that I asked you about that were on the floor next to your desk,
Correct.
that's what Mike's looking for?
Correct.
And so
There's
Mike,
8 in total.
I saw it with my own eyes, so you know me, and I saw it there, that's your information. He has it ready for you, and so I saw it. So we need to get you.
I'm glad you have it, okay, but I need it.
You have to come in.
Or give it to me.
If it's a matter of viewing in the office versus
Dude,
viewing,
come
I'm going to
on, okay,
clarify that. so
it's
it
yours,
doesn't
Mike.
take open floor.
So, okay, thank you. Okay.
Thank you. And one other thing, I'd like to congratulate the people that got elected on the board. I wish you all the luck and as far as confidence in regards to doing your research as far as making Locust Lake Village one of the best communities in the Poconos. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
I just had a quick question.
I'm on.
You had mentioned, you mentioned that Dave was doing an evaluation of the employees and who was, and then you also mentioned that Rob is interviewing people for
Oh, yeah.
a ranger. Somebody's interviewing, it doesn't
Oh,
really matter who. My question is, are you gonna wait till his evaluation's done before you hire another ranger? I understand.
I think
that
we're
one of
gonna
the
hire,
rangers-
we have an existing manning level, we need security, and I think we're down to 2 bodies.
There's only 2 security? I thought there was 6 security.
No, we're down to.
Right, down to.
So they're trying to get up to normal current manning, but there's a review process, this personnel review is something that will be done in parallel and for information, because I haven't seen them before.
No, I understand, I'm saying if he comes up and he says there needs to be 4,
Everybody's gonna hear about it.
and then you just hired somebody, I'm just saying, like, if it's in the process of it, it might be, you know.
I can also help clarify, I think what was referenced earlier was looking at next year for the 26 budget. We weren't just going to take the prior year and roll it over, we're going to reevaluate and look at staffing needs that we have currently and what we would project in 26. So it's not just like, oh, we need 3 more bodies or we need the same level of bodies. It was taking a closer look to see if there's efficiencies, if anything changed in our organization, because you might not need the same staff that you have this year that you need next year based on even what we've heard today with like what maintenance does. You know, is maintenance a lot of it farmed out or is it in-house? That will make a decision on what you need for full-time staff. Also looking at summer. You know, there's a lot of higher demand during the summer usage. So looking at whether part-time is something that we need for summer. So that was part of
Yeah,
the
that was what I
overall.
wanted to ask, like, is there a thing where security, like I know at Short Points or in other places like that, they hire extra police officers in the summer, that maybe we hire extra rangers in the summer, but not have them in the winter, where, like, yes, there's obviously people here, but is there a need for as many year-round as there is during summer? I'm just.
Well, no, and that's fine. And the personnel allowances is actually the result of a needs analysis, job task analysis. These are things that take time. Especially with as seasonal as the workload is in an organization like this. You know, it may be 6 months from then until I have the reliable data that I need to then make a recommendation to the rest of the board with this is what our staffing should look like. And it may be this is your summer staffing, this is your winter staffing. I had an experience in one of my previous companies where we could only hire part-time and we couldn't find people. They were for summer camp counselors, day camps. And finally, it was, first off, you're not going to be able to hire part-time people to do this. Parents want to see the same face at the end of the day as they do at the beginning of the day. Hire them full-time. Oh, well, then we have to pay benefits. No, you don't. If they're hired seasonal. I'm not saying that that's going to happen. I mean, what I am saying is the data may show that instead of a full-time hire for year-round that costs us money, maybe a seasonal full-time hire may be better. I don't know that right now. I haven't seen the data. I haven't done the observation. And I go into these with no preconceived notions because I've had data, I've done that before. And when the data came back, it was like, wow, I did not expect that. And then the recommendations and the ultimate decisions were made on that data, not on, well, I think, whatever. So that's where I'm going with this, because what we want to do is we want to right size. We want to have our personnel costs, which are the largest, where they need to be. Not where necessarily where we want them to be, but where they need to be. Does that answer?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
totally.
Sounds to me like we're not going to probably have, it's going to take 6 months, it's not going to be affecting this budget then. It's going to take that much time, but it could be used in 2026. That's getting ahead of the ball game is what I like. Just try to be proactive and be ahead. But we have no desire, we just want additional data. Anybody else? Are we good? Then we'll close this thing up with director's comments. Starting with you, Tom.
Thanks, Wade. I'd like to thank everyone that came here and everyone's online. Looks like another no rain day, so go out and enjoy it. Thanks.
I'd also like to thank everybody for taking the time to show up at the meeting, participate, add your comments. Thank you.
I just want to thank everybody for coming out. I hope everybody enjoys a lovely fall as the season's starting to change.
I want to say that I agree with the member who brought up some of the issues about, if we're going to do a hiring analysis, do we want to take a look at where we're doing right now? So you might want to pump the brakes a little bit and take a look at that. And I also appreciate you giving us that information that you've already researched much of the multiple properties, because that's something that we really need to know. We don't have a lot of history, so thanks for bringing it up. Everybody enjoy your weekend.
Yes, thanks for coming out and participating, and I'd love to chat with you after, so, thanks.
What they said.
So for those that are in the audience and or those in YouTube, the one on the 16, or how many we got on there right now?
20.
We got 20. The 20 of you, if you could, please email the manager and let him know what the sound is like, so that if we have to make corrections again. So thank you online, and thank you for everybody in the audience for bearing with us. It's only been 3 weeks. So thank you.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn, please. Second. This meeting is adjourned.
Second.